It comes out to the 25-yard line.
On the double.
Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Stand. Hard.
6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Check 5.
Kill.
He'll have a first down past the 40. He's at the 40. 20. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens. Direction. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield.
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
The drive will start with an option going left. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Check. Watch 54.
You're out.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of...
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The sack by Robert Quinn. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, 78 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over. This game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for it.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. Here's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Letting one go deep for the end zone. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
And Myers able to knock it through, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field. Definitely
A lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Yeah, last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Check 3. Yo, go.
And that's caught by Smith. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. 52 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
Ready. 8-3. Look at me. Go.
On second down, it's Cook. And he'll get this down only to the 18. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that moves them up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The offense now, they wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to look deep down the field. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
6 man, look go. Check curls, check curls, check curls. Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. Let's go, dude.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming.
Set, ready? 60 or. Leo!
We ain't beginning to turn you up. Don't get nervous.
6-6, pull it high. Sponge. No. Hey, Delta.
Check. Hey, watch that.
5.
2nd and 3. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Cut. Watch twins.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Mike 54.
We own them.
Check the hot read.
Snap.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Running out of the gun here, Breida. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep it.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Ready up.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Get it.
2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
Intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. It's their quarterback on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To try again after the sack. Wilson caught. Safarian Jenkins, right side. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Four down. I'll go special.
Play action. Now Wilson. Now he's flipped. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
General West. Hey, box truck. Check.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Going deep for Diggs. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Here's Matt Weil now, standing just outside his own goal line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. I would say they went 3-and-out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3-and-out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1-and-out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
Come on now, let's go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. It's a big play there for Seattle. 43 yards on the ground.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Now Wilson. Complete to the running back, Matt Breida. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
54
From the gun on third down, Wilson. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Danielle Hunter, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And this one is right down Broadway. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The third quarter has not been kind to them after they built that lead at intermission. They've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. A gain there of 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's corralled.
Runs like that each and every time, won't you?
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Go!
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 25 yards that time.
Set, ready? 15. You draw quarter.
They'll run with Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 10-yard line.
Ready.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. On 2nd and goal, here's an option play left. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Their mobile, agile quarterback keeping it himself from 10 yards away. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead is up to 18 now. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, but the
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. This may be one of the best stretches of defensive football that I've seen. I don't know about you. 5 sacks last week, now 3 here in this affair.
I would agree with that, and I've enjoyed watching the skill that's gone into it. You can see the intelligence behind it as well. He's watched tape, and he's setting people up, but relentless. That's the one word that keeps coming to mind. He does not want to be denied at getting to the quarterback.
And they're not denying it. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
50's the mark. 50 right there. Hey, watch the ball. Watch the ball.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Looking deep for Jennings. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
On the set. Smooth.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Hey, 1 set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
All day, just like that.
Hey.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Smith catches left side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Come on, set. 60 or. Hey, lock it.
Check.
X3. 218, chopper.
Switch.
Hey, echo. Let's go.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise or throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
On second down, Cook. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get them about 5 yards. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Out of the shotgun, Breida. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson to throw. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. 16 yards, a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On first down, here's Breida. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
They go play action now. Wilson. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Austin Seferian-Jenkins. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks.
We ain't giving up nothing. Touch 50.
From the gun, Wilson. And he's got it. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead a little bit further. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone.
Let's go, fellas. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Slam.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Coming, baby, I'm coming, baby.
Topper! There!
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Check 43.
Now.
2nd and 4. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't.
Oh, now Breida loses it. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
No.
They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Tackle coming from the safety, Trey Flowers.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
I know you felt that one.
Ready.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
Go.
Check. Lucky. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 11 yards there, first down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone that has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Vikings. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr in there to get him, and that is looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Operating from the gun, Wilson. being chased out left. And this is going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Here we go, G.
Let's go double count right here. Double count.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the Seahawks 19-yard line.
18 Gator.
It's out time. It's out time, guys. It's out time.
Lee Griffin.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.